Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lena, and today I'm going to talk about what it was like to be coached by a certified Enneagram coach. On this channel, I like to discuss money and things that can help make your life around the house a little bit more simple. So basically, the Enneagram is a personality typing system with the focus on core motivations and not necessarily outward actions. So before I started Enneagram coaching, I was familiar with the Enneagram, and I had kind of gone through a cycle of learning about the Enneagram. I read this book, The Road Back to You, and I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot from that. I also have been on the Enneagram website looking at all the different types and learning about them. I attempted to type a lot of other people or help them be typed or help them to type themselves using like the Enneagram website. And to be honest, that brought a lot of frustration because some people are not interested in it, or I was definitely pushy about trying to help them figure it out. And that's not what the Enneagram is really about, but I didn't really know. So the popularity of the Enneagram in a way has hurt it, I think, because it's supposed to be more about self-discovery and discovering things about yourself and hard things about yourself. But I was using it more as a way to put people in boxes and be like, oh, you're like this, therefore I should say these things to you, or almost as a way to help me manipulate people, be like, okay, so if you value peace, I should put this in the perspective of peace so that you're more likely to agree with me. So this was probably not the healthiest way to discover the Enneagram and to utilize it, but that's kind of where I was on my journey. And also I was starting to get frustrated with the Enneagram because I was like, well, this isn't actually making my life any better. Now I'm pigeonholing people into this is their type, this is what they're like, and there's no other variance about their behavior. So I think that was definitely a negative thing for me. The most valuable thing I learned before I did the coaching was that other people have different motivations than me, which was a huge deal for me to realize, because I am a 3 with a 4 wing. I am an achiever, and I like to get things done. I like to check the boxes. I like to be successful and appear successful. And I could not for the life of me understand why someone else would be motivated by something else. So the Enneagram really opened my eyes up to that other people have entirely different motivations for life, and that was definitely a positive. But the rest of it was all a very mixed bag. Then my sister decided to become an Enneagram coach. She completed all her training, and then she asked me if I would do the 5 introductory sessions with her. At that point, I was definitely frustrated with the Enneagram, but I was saying, well, let's give it another chance and maybe discover it more in a way that it was supposed to be discovered and see what it has. I mean, I was willing to be open and honest about the process and just try again, basically start over with the Enneagram in a way, even though I already knew some things. I wanted to give it a fair go, so I devoted myself to the process and being open to where it led. As I learned more, Sarah was helping me with the idea that the Enneagram is not about pigeonholing you or anyone else. It's about helping you get out of the box that you have already put yourself in. Like, I am this way, or this is the way I do things. A lot of other personality tests or things, they kind of just say, well, this is what you're like. Other people are just gonna have to deal with it now and have a nice life. But the Enneagram is about growth and about realizing the hurtful habits and patterns that you may have in your life and moving past those as you're recognizing them instead of just leaving you as you are. So part of my motivation before to learn about other people was not necessarily selfishly motivated, because I wanted to use the Enneagram to enhance my relationships and learn about the people that I loved and love them in a better way. But obviously it didn't turn out quite as planned. So I was kind of taking it from a outside sort of perspective. The coaching really helped me look inside of myself to examine how I do things, not for the purpose of selfish gain, but to love other people in a better way because I understood how I was reacting. There's these paths that you can go down, and one of the hurtful paths that sometimes I can go down, dumping all of my emotions on everybody and being super doom and gloom about everything and being like, nothing's ever gonna work, everything's going wrong, the world is coming to an end. But if I know that that is true about myself, I can share that with other people, meaning like, this is what's happening right now, I'm not in a good place. This allows me to move beyond the destructive thing that I was doing to myself and others and grow in a more healthy direction. So I was attempting to use the Enneagram from the outside in with my relationships too, like, okay, you're a 9, you're a 6, okay, this is how I'm gonna relate to you because of who you are, instead of I know what's in my heart and I know what my tendency is and how I will tend to hurt the relationship in this way, and therefore if I know that, I can change how I'm relating to people from my perspective. Because in reality, the only person that you can change is yourself and not anyone else. So I will definitely admit that Enneagram coaching was not the most comfortable thing for me. It was definitely very hard for me to face hard things about myself, but it brought up things that I didn't want to talk about and I've maybe been avoiding my entire life, but I talked about them in Enneagram coaching, and that was a very healing experience for me. So if you want to be brave and face what you're really like and face what's really going on in your life, I think this is a great opportunity for you to learn about what you are truly like and what your patterns are. It was definitely emotionally draining because it made me talk about things that I didn't want to, but I think that's growth, right? Is talking about things that you that make you super uncomfortable. We were talking about how Enneagram coaching can help you answer the questions that you may have read in a book, but you're like, oh, that's an interesting question, but not actually truly answering it for yourself. But when you are with someone else talking about it, then you are forced to actually answer those hard questions for yourself that you have no desire to answer. So we did 5 sessions, 1 a week. They were each an hour long, and we did them over Zoom. So one of the objections I hear to Enneagram coaching is that it's selfish to learn about yourself. And I think that this proved that it's not, because the ability to be a healthier version of you for your family is incredibly important and valuable to your family and your relationships and your children. So this was definitely a challenging experience, but I want to do challenging experiences and grow as a human. Down below you'll find a link for my sister's Enneagram coaching page on Facebook if you're interested in looking into it a little bit more, or perhaps you're interested in coaching. I think she'd be a great option to help you with that. And if you are brave enough to learn things about yourself that make you incredibly uncomfortable and might even scare you a little bit, then you should definitely try this out if you're ready for some real personal growth. In other coaching experiences, I feel like it can be a lot of encouragement about, you know, you're awesome, you can do this, and this is, you know, how you should do the steps or whatever. But this is really different because it showed me things that I wouldn't have found on my own by myself, which I think was very valuable. If this video was interesting to you, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any uploads, and I hope to see you in the next upload. Bye for now.